Of the confirmed deaths from the floods, 3 of them are in Williamson County, including Sherry Richardson, a beloved staff member at Hope House in Liberty Hill. Hope House is a home for children and adults with severe disabilities. Richardson was swept away in her home on the Hope House property, and 13 children living in a home nearby on the property had to be evacuated by helicopter. We have Eerland Schulze with Hope House with us now to talk about this devastating situation and what's happened since. Eerland, it's unimaginable what the community is going through. Can you walk us through what happened to Sherry during the flood and the evacuations?
Well, Sherry, like so many of the victims in these floods we've had here, was sleeping at 3:30 in the morning and awoke to water in her house. And she lived on the property, but it was a separate home. It was a little further down towards the San Gabriel Creek. And when she awoke, it was just too late. She had called 911. She had spoke to our executive director, and there was no way she could get out of the house. And before the rescue, who responded very quickly, could get to her, it was too late, and the house was swept away completely. So we lost Sherry, and I think that we are doing what I think Sherry wants us to do, and that's to move on, to take care of our children. She was such a wonderful addition to our team. She came to us about 3.5 years ago. She was our HR person. She was in the front office, and no one could get into that office without knowing about Hope House and how much she cared for those kids.
And can you tell us, those kids had to be evacuated, and of course it's so difficult to evacuate anyone, but for children with adults and severe disabilities, you have so much more to think about, like medications, wheelchairs even, and just the trauma of losing Sherry. Can you talk about the evacuations?
Well, yes, all of our children are profoundly disabled. We care for some of the most highly mentally and physically disabled children there are here in Central Texas. And there were actually 16 children living in that home. It was our children's home. We had 5 homes, and this one was the original house built in '77. And it was a group home where these children stayed, our younger children, but we have 4 more homes in downtown Liberty Hill. So it was about 6 miles out of town. And as you mentioned, when a child is this disabled, any amount of water is going to disturb them. They have no idea what's going to happen. So we were not going to take any chances. Our staff was awake 24/7. And when they got the call, we just thanked Sherry. She made that call. She alerted, the staff. And when that call came, those children were immediately evacuated thanks to Williamson County, who responded so quickly with a Black Hawk helicopter. And, the water did not sweep that home away, but the traumatic situation, the children not knowing what could happen and seeing any amount of water come through, just created a situation where we had to act immediately and not take any chances. So the children were all safely evacuated to 4 of the other homes that we have in downtown Liberty Hill, and that's where they remain. Now, we are so proud to say that those children are now back in that home. This is thanks to hundreds of volunteers who showed up. They stepped up and they came out and they cleaned the mud, the silt, and all of the debris off the property within a little over 2 weeks. Our staff worked 24/7 to take care of our kids, but those volunteers came out and they cleaned that house up. And yesterday there was 60 or 70 church members from San Antonio, New Braunfels that came out and painted our house and refreshed it. And now those kids are back home living in that house once again, thanks to so many people who helped us.
That is so wonderful to hear. And what a testament not only to the community you have out there, but to the kind of work you do. Eerland Schulze with Hope House. The work Hope House does is so important, and we will be thinking of you and sending our support during this time. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.